Hi everyone, so I want to share mewing hacks that I learned on my mewing journey, and hopefully they will help you as well. Like two of those are probably more basic, and there are some that I kind of like figured out what works. So yeah, let's get into it. Okay, so the first one is McKenzie Chint. Chint is done in a way that you put a piece of paper behind your head, or you imagine you have a paper behind your head, and then you pull your face down, and that paper goes up, and then you pull your face up and paper goes down. Basically, also it's very important to like push. You have to feel the back of your head. The goal with this exercise is to fix forward neck posture. That's basically, I think, the main goal with this exercise, but I figured that it helps so much with like making your airway more free, or getting your tongue out of your airway. So if you're struggling with engaging the back third of your tongue, this exercise will help. Like anytime I struggle with proper mewing, like engaging the back third of my tongue, I do this exercise, and it truly, like, it helps immediately. I do it for probably like 10 times. It helps with breathing a lot. It really does. I remember in the very beginning I was struggling with breathing while mewing so much, and this exercise was like a saver. Okay, so the next exercise is like similar to this in a way that it also helps with breathing. It also helps with getting your tongue out of your airways, but it basically, you can do it like anywhere, even like in public. It doesn't involve like, you know, crazy paper. You just have to pull your shoulders back and down. I know that's so basic, but it's really not talked about enough, or not enough people talk about it. Basically, it does the same thing, especially if you have like a small face. You know, I have like a very small face, so my airways are very narrow, or at least it feels like that. So when I have to put my like back third of my tongue on the upper palate, I struggle with breathing. Especially in the beginning, I struggle with breathing a lot. So whenever I struggle now, I just do that, you know, like shoulders back and down. Immediately I'm able to engage the back third of the tongue. So give it a try like that, along with McKenzie Chint. That will make you engage the back third of your tongue. It will make it feel like so natural. Okay, so the next one, I heard people talk about it. It's suction hold. In case you haven't heard about it, basically you gain suction hold, or you make a vacuum in between your tongue and upper palate. So in order to get the suction hold, you have to repeatedly swallow your saliva. But it's also important to do it properly, to swallow your saliva properly, because otherwise I doubt that you would even be able to create a vacuum. Basically, the goal of this suction hold is to get the air out of your mouth, like as much as possible, and basically that leaves you with your tongue sucked on the upper palate. So when it comes to proper swallowing, which is a key for this exercise, or not even exercise, like practice, you have to swallow in a way that you only use, or not use, but like you only use your tongue, and the only movement that is visible is in the neck area. So basically, don't use your facial muscles, don't use your cheeks, don't use your lips, and practice that in front of a mirror, because like in the beginning, it really might be hard for you. Also, you might have a feeling that you're not using facial muscles, but in reality, you probably are. So it's not that hard. I was struggling in the beginning, but when you practice it in front of the mirror, like when you're looking at your face and your neck, you're able to control those muscles. I feel like that's not gonna be such a big problem, especially if you're doing it in front of the mirror. And basically, by repeatedly swallowing, like try to swallow like maybe 5 times that should be enough. I feel like that should be enough in order to gain the suction hold, and that force will hold the tongue on the upper palate. It makes it so much easier because you don't have to actively think about it, especially if you're like doing something like watching television or something that you're focused on and you don't want to be focused on proper tongue posture. This suction hold will basically do it for you. So yeah, it's a great hack. Okay, so the next exercise is probably my favorite because I was struggling with tongue range movement, especially if you have like tongue ties, and this exercise makes mewing easier because especially in the beginning we all probably try to do it actively, not trying to gain suction hold, but like to push our tongue on the upper palate. And I was struggling with that, especially with the back third, not only because of, you know, like forward neck posture and shoulder posture and stuff like that, but because my tongue it didn't have that range of motion. So basically this exercise, the cave, that exercise is done in a way that you gain suction hold first, and then you try to open your mouth as wide as possible while still maintaining the suction hold, or basically while you still have your full tongue on the upper palate. Basically with this exercise you're stretching out the lingual freedom, and that was one of the most like crucial exercises, at least in my case. It helped so much because of course you're gonna struggle with mewing, with keeping your tongue up when, you know, there's like a resistance, there's something that keeps you from keeping your tongue up. I would say do this exercise like every day, of course, but do it for maybe 20 like repetitions. I think that would be enough. And each time that you're struggling with mewing really during the day, you can try to like stretch, you know, lingual freedom, and it really helps. Then I know a lot of people struggle with this because facial asymmetry is nowadays so common. Like there's more people with facial asymmetry than people without it, I feel like. And many people feel like because of facial asymmetry, their tongue is not pressing on each side like with the same force. And even though my opinion is that, you know, facial asymmetry and maxilla asymmetry is just a consequence of lower body asymmetry like pelvis, and I have videos about that as well. Yes, people struggle with uneven tongue strength, and I struggle with that. So one hack that I found is basically you can put a little piece of a gum, so basically already chewed gum, a little piece on the side of a tongue that is less active, and that will literally serve as a reminder for you or your tongue to press on that side and not necessarily press more, because that could that really doesn't seem natural or even beneficial. Basically you should always press the same, and that's why I'm saying like doing tongue exercises is crucial when it comes to that. You want to even out the tongue strength, you want to make it strong, like a whole tongue strong. You want to gain full control over it, you want to use it or be able to use each part of a tongue separately. It's very important. But in a very beginning, if you're doing exercises but still are struggling with engaging a certain part of your tongue, you can put a little piece of a gum on that side of a tongue, and yeah, you will be able to feel that little piece of a gum, and during the day it will remind you to press that side of the tongue. Okay, so that's pretty much all. These 5 hacks helped me a lot. They maybe seem easy, but give it a try. Like, give it a try. Okay, so I tried them on my mewing journey. They helped me a lot. They were very beneficial, but I want to emphasize exercises, tongue exercises in general, because you can do, you know, like everything, but if you're not working on tongue strength, coordination, engaging your whole tongue and gaining a full control over it, then what are you doing really? No, but seriously, give exercises a try. Use these hacks as something, you know, that can help you with mewing during the day, and you'll be fine. You'll be just fine. Basically, that's all from me for now. Thank you so much for watching. Engage with me, write your opinions, comments, and yeah, I will see you in the next video.